William Shakespeare once said, "There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." What did he really mean by that? Was he suggesting that good or bad things do not happen in life? Well, stick around for the next few minutes, and we will be diving into the deeper meaning behind Shakespeare's quote. In our previous video, we used the story of the Chinese farmer to illustrate that it is difficult to know the consequence of a good fortune or a misfortune, because one cannot connect the dots looking forward. Today, we are taking this a step further to help you realize that the events that happen in our lives may not be as good or as bad as we think they are, and that it's very possible to have a different perspective about them. By the way, if this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we upload a new content. So, do you feel good or bad most of the time? Or have you become so numb to your emotions that you can't even tell the variance of your feelings? Often you hear people say that you have to take responsibility for your actions because they determine your results in life. But how often do you hear them say, you have to take responsibility for your feelings? We have established in the previous videos that your feelings precede your actions, which means your results are directly linked to your emotions. For that reason, don't you think it is high time you paid more attention to your emotions? When someone pays you a compliment or gives a positive remark about you, it makes you feel good. On the other hand, if someone verbally abuses you or throws a negative remark at you, you may feel grief, anger, hurt, or all three emotions at once. In the same way, if you make some money or get a promotion at work, you feel joyful. But if you lose some money or get fired from work, you feel sad. In a nutshell, if something good happens in your life, you feel excited. But if it is something bad or negative, you feel frustrated, stressed, or sometimes disappointed. In other words, the emotions that you feel or express are influenced by things that happen to you externally. Don't you find it odd that an external experience can shift your inner world emotionally? If you are like most people, multiple things could activate negative feelings within you on any given day. Let's say you are driving and someone suddenly cuts you off without a signal, or you find yourself stuck in traffic while you are running late for a meeting. Maybe you receive an email or notification from a particular person, and before you open it, you feel worried. It could be that someone challenges you in a debate or conversation, or you feel troubled about some future event. In the course of a day, you can feel joy, frustration, happiness, excitement, anger, fear, hurt, irritation, jealousy, shame, despair, doubt, envy, disappointment, and even sadness. All these emotions are stirred up within you at different times, triggered by occurrences around you. Do you pay enough attention to your feelings to recognize that you go through an emotional roller coaster within the course of a day? You are probably seeing your life being explained as you assimilate these words. If you are running through life constantly adjusting your emotions based on circumstances, the truth is that your life will be precarious and chaotic. You will end up taking actions that do not align with your true nature. These actions will eventually lead to unwanted results. Unwanted results will only make you feel even worse, and the cycle goes on. I am sure that you have attributed how you feel inside to external occurrences for most of your life. I do not fault you for thinking this way, because that is what it seems like. But what if I told you that these circumstances do not create your emotions, and that you are actually in charge of your emotions? Believe it or not, you are actually in control of how you respond to these circumstances and what feeling you express each time. It is your interpretation of these circumstances that cause you to feel the way you do. The power lies with you. It is entirely in your control. And if it is in your control, it means it can be changed. You can change how you respond and feel about occurrences in your life. After all, you own the body that houses and expresses these feelings. Recognizing this is the beginning of your journey to emotional mastery. You see, when an external event happens in your life, you perceive it with one or more of your five senses. What you perceive goes through a self-imposed natural filter, and based on your filter, you think positive or negative thoughts about that circumstance. Your thoughts automatically trigger a positive or negative emotion that causes you to react to the occurrence. This happens almost instantaneously, such that you are not aware or conscious that a thought preceded the emotion. Notice that your filter interprets the event and assigned meaning to it, not the event or circumstance. For example, if you get a promotion at your job, the event goes through your filters. Your filter then associates the promotion with more money or recognition, and you start thinking about how you might be able to save more money to buy a house, or how this will boost your career. Your filter interprets it this way because you have seen people get recognition for their promotions, or make more money and have better careers. These types of thoughts trigger a good feeling within you. The peripheral assumption is that this positive emotional feeling stems directly from the event. Still, you created the emotion based on how you perceived and interpreted the event in the real sense. If you get fired from your job, you equally perceive it through your senses. Your filters interpret this event as no more source of income, no recognition, and financial vulnerability. The thoughts that come up in your mind are thoughts of desperation, like how you won't be able to pay your bills in the coming months, or how you may have to find cheaper accommodation, or even become homeless. As a result, the emotions triggered within you could be worry, anxiety, fear, shame, stress, or even disappointment. You may have made plans and financial commitments, but now that you are out of a job with no other source of income, the reality is that your plans have become unrealizable at the moment. It may seem like these negative emotions stem directly from the loss of your job, but your translation of the event is the reason for your negative emotion. It is the meaning you have attributed to losing your job that causes your suffering. If you think about it from a general perspective, the event is neither good nor bad. Your thinking makes it one or the other due to the meaning you have associated with the event. Remember that life is still unfolding around the world, even after you have lost your job. In fact, many people worldwide may have lost their jobs too, but life keeps going on for them and everyone else. We cannot deny that many people have taken drastic measures due to their interpretation of such adverse circumstances. We hear stories of self-harm and even suicide due to these victims' reactions and succumbing to the overwhelming nature of these negative emotions. There are also people out there who don't get sad or feel fear or worry when they lose their jobs. And it is not because they didn't love their job or they were not happy with it. It is simply because they have taken control of their filters consciously or unconsciously. They quickly begin to think about the next thing and how to get the next job. They don't waste any energy on stressing or fretting. Any energy or time you waste regretting or worrying about things you cannot change is gone forever and cannot be retrieved. These people are in control of their emotions, not the other way around. You can do the same thing if you intentionally begin to pay more attention to yourself. When an event happens and you start feeling a negative emotion, let this be your guide. Grab the thought from your mind and then reach for its opposite. If you were thinking, how will I pay my bills in the coming months? You can replace it with, well, I was able to find a job before. Why won't I be able to find another job now? Better still, you can change the narrative with a different perspective like, there are many job opportunities out there. Maybe this is my chance to find another job that I will love and enjoy even more. The idea is to start thinking general thoughts instead of focusing on a particular thought that will make you sad in the long run. An example of thinking general thoughts in the case of losing your job would be moving from, how will I pay my bills in the coming months, to, I'm not sure if I will find another job in time to pay my bills, but I will try my best to find one. This way, you are not overly positive about the situation, but neutral about it. If you think more neutral thoughts about the situation, surely a momentum will build up where you will find it easier to think positive thoughts about the situation. It is sometimes challenging to transition from a negative momentum of thoughts to a positive one. However, by thinking in a general sense of things, we can bring ourselves back to a neutral state and gradually work towards positive momentum. If we find it difficult to go general because we have delved deep into negative thoughts, we can ask ourselves, how would I experience this moment if my mind did not get involved? This question allows us to become more present in the moment and shift our focus away from negative thoughts. Asking this question doesn't necessarily provide a conceptual answer, but the act of stopping and reflecting on it helps us become more aware of the present moment. Without our mind's involvement, we begin to notice our physical sensations, our breathing, and the environment around us. This shift in attention can alleviate the weight we feel and bring a sense of relief. To achieve emotional mastery, it is essential to continuously become conscious of our filtered thoughts and align our feelings with our thoughts. We can clean out our filter by catching negative thoughts and reversing them or letting go of the meaning we have assigned to them. This act of self-parenting puts control back into our hands, transforming us into conscious creators who are in charge of our thoughts, emotions, and reactions. When we are unaware of our filters, we may waste time trying to deal with the actual emotions or circumstances. Emotions serve as indicators, guiding us to understand our current thought patterns. Rather than fighting against emotional triggers, we should embrace them as gifts that allow us to evolve. By recognizing and appreciating our emotions, we can differentiate between them and make conscious choices instead of being controlled by external events. Being in control of our emotions and thoughts is an intentional act. It prevents negative emotions from tainting the happiness we should enjoy. Rather than sinking into depression, sadness, or anger when events don't go as anticipated, we can view circumstances from different perspectives. We can find opportunities for growth and embrace the positive sides embedded within seemingly negative experiences. To detach ourselves from negative thoughts and emotions, we must consciously monitor our thoughts, weaken negativity through consistent practice, and replace negative thoughts with positive ones. This requires developing emotional stability and training our thoughts, mind, and attention. Meditation plays a crucial role in this process, helping us keep our thoughts, focus, and emotions in check. There you have it. Attractors, we hope to have been able to help you see that events or circumstances in life are inherently neutral, and it is our thoughts and interpretations that assign them qualities of good or bad. Be sure to like and share your thoughts with us in the comment section. We would like to hear from our community as we continue on this journey together. So, as you go about your days, weeks, and months, remember that developing emotional stability empowers us to remain calm, alert, and resilient even in challenging situations. It allows us to take responsibility for our own emotions rather than relying on external factors or other people. Understand that events in our lives are neutral, and it is the meaning we assign to them that shapes our thoughts and emotions. By being in charge of our emotions, we can create a more joyful and fulfilling life. It is within our hands to shape our experiences and find joy even in the face of adversity. And like Shakespeare said, nothing is either good or bad, it is your thinking that makes it so.